And I'm Max.
And this is
Dango Duo! Welcome. Kitty's dying because it's chilly. It's winter anime.
It's winter anime. Everything is mostly bad.
Mostly bad. Hey there! Welcome back to Dango Duo's anime reactions. If you're unfamiliar with the way that we do things, let me just walk you through it real quick.
It's been a while. Let's walk through.
The plan for us this season is to react to the first episode of every single anime
that is legally streaming in our region.
Yeah.
Which is most of them, honestly, thankfully.
The way in which we review anime, the goal is to analyze its storytelling, the way that it portrayed its story, and also its entertainment value. As people who consume media, it is very important to not only be critical about it, but to examine what was good and what was bad.
And especially be critical about the things you like.
Exactly. And we love anime. That's why
we certainly gotta hate anime, but love anime. There is no in between.
So, when you go down below to leave your dislike and an angry comment, please consider where we're coming from. Now, Kitty, we're beginning Winter Anime 2019 with
one of the highest profile Boogiepop and others.
Boogiepop.
And others.
Which is also the name of the first episode.
Yeah.
So,
also, so I'm just forewarning any of y'all commenters down there. We only watched the first episode because we're only watching the first episodes. I know both of them came out the same day. If they wanted us to watch them both, should have done it should been more clear in their connection, or just made it one big old episode.
Yep. Also,
like another show.
One more thing that I want to clarify as we move forward. If you're wondering why exactly we're doing only one episode, you should get our winter anime preview. Near the end of it, we actually go in great lengths explaining. I hope that I don't have to do that for every episode. But
the basic premise is we're giving every anime a chance to disappoint us or to inspire us. But we only give them one episode. Because that's fair.
Or as I like to rephrase it, listen, the first episode is literally the episode where you put all of your work in there. It has to be the one that shows your best work. And if an anime starts with a bad first episode, guess what? It's probably not going to get better. Everyone here talks about how the third episode rule is the rule. But let me tell you what, the first episode of Madoka was still really good. The third episode was better. From there on, there's a little bit of a barren wasteland of episodes until we get to 8, 9, and 10. 10 being the best episode, the peak of Madoka. Storytelling. Honestly. So, see, that's the thing with anime. The first episode is the benchmark. It is the watermark. It is the point by which the rest of the anime
is judged.
Is judged. So
we want to give everything a fair shot.
Yeah.
Most of it will disappoint, but
I mean, it is winter anime where you toss a bunch of trash, not to speak already badly of Boogiepop and others, but listen, Dango Duo here, our format, in case you don't know, we always look at the good and we look at the bad. We always treat it fairly. We look for something to compliment from something to nitpick. So, Kitty, we're already in there.
Yeah, we're here. Well,
there's nothing we can do. We're still gonna get those comments below. It's like, oh my god,
especially about this one.
Especially about this one.
Because as we'll talk about when I talk about the summary of the anime, it's been a series for a long time. And many people are very passionate about it, which I understand. But we are new fans trying to understand what the fuck is going on. And
you also have to look at the things you like critically. You can still like them, but I don't know. I can do that whole rant about the things I like have to be good because I like them.
Of course.
But you know what? First and foremost, Kitty, what is Boogiepop and others about?
So it was originally based on a light novel that came out in 1998, which was then produced into an anime by Madhouse. It was the company doing this new reboot anime. Which is pretty cool. The story... I really
like that. I like that Madhouse is like, let me try that one more time.
Right. The story of Boogiepop. It's about a perhaps supernatural entity that possesses a girl and solves mysteries.
Question mark.
I think.
We're gonna try to be light with spoilers, but you know what? It's the first episode as well. So the one thing I want to say that I find it to be a little bit misleading, all of the promotional information and the opening has a girl on it, but she is
at
not.
At least the first episode is all about features from the boys' perspective.
Well, you gotta remember that this is a light novel for boys.
Fair.
So I assume that this, excuse me, faceless, completely characterless and featureless boy happens to be our protagonist.
Yeah, probably.
So I just found that to be a little bit misleading, because I'm like, oh, I want to know what this girl's all about, and then you realize that she's actually, like,
she's not
a supporting character.
Technically there for most of the episode anyway.
So this first episode leads with the introduction of our main protagonist, boy, whatever his name is. What's his face?
And Boogiepop.
Boogiepop and...
the girl she's possessing.
The end of the series, question mark?
Right? I don't know what happened. What happened.
That's the title of this video. Hey, Kitty, what did you like the most about Boogiepop and Others, episode 1?
The opening is really good, except for the part where she gets naked. But the opening is like, I was like going, shit, the entire time.
The whole time we were like
there was some cool visuals, some cool animation, some shit that, she looks in the mirror and then the mirror moves and reaches out towards her, which is just like good shit. But then she gets naked kind of towards the end,
which is like, that's the very
and then she makes out with herself, so,
Yeah,
that's fine. It's really good.
I'm like, oh, I like this female design. She's wearing a long robe. That's very nice. Why must you sexualize her in the opening? Like, why do you have to... Oh, anyhow. The thing that I like the most... There is some money in this animation. Let me tell you what.
Madhouse is bringing their game. Their A-game.
There is lots of chromatic aberration. That's the thing that I love in anime, where they create a blur by... moving the hue levels by basically creating what people refer to as like the VHS corruption. It looks good.
It looks good.
There is money in this anime. There's very little shorthand. There's very little...
You get to see a lot of the animation. There's not a lot of covering your mouth so you don't save frames.
And
there's
honestly,
no big, scene in this episode, but I have a feeling that's kind of
and I want to say that if you're the kind of person who are like, I want to see a really pretty anime, this one is definitely... Again, it doesn't have like a big set piece like Kitty said, but like, man, there's some money in this anime.
It's definitely like... I don't know about the surface underneath, but the top surface looks very good. I don't know if it's really shallow or not. I don't understand what happened, so...
But we sure are gonna make a judgment call.
Well, that's kind of our job.
So, Kitty, now, that's what we liked. The OP's fucking dope as hell, and the animation's really good for the show. That's not something we usually say about anime. Usually we're like, damn, the animation there. There's so much of anime we watch this season where we're like, man, that's, shortcuts. Shortcuts. I'm like, that girl's wearing a face mask, so you'd never have to show her her lips moving.
That's last season, but to be fair.
Still. Okay, now, Kitty, what did you dislike the most about Boogiepop and Others episode 1?
I don't understand what happened. I'm so confused. So, like when we read the summary, it just ended up being a summary of episode 1. So I have no idea what this anime is actually even about. Like when we read the summary for Winter Anime Preview.
It mentions like a magic banana fishu drug.
Like a big mystery that's happening. And I thought from the episode that the big mystery was what was talked about in the episode. But apparently that just gets resolved off screen. Unless...
we'll get there in a second.
Yeah.
Because my negative for this episode is that it has very odd... I would just call them ineffective and bad pacing and timing issues. There is one particular scene near the middle where Kitty and I are paused to argue whether that was taking place in the past or the present.
Or like different days.
Yeah, and then that same thing happens again multiple times throughout the episode, where like the story just flashes forward like a week into the future.
And doesn't tell you other than the fact that the boy brings up this information.
Yeah, and the thing is that like it flashes forward in the future, but the characters are still in the same place they were a week ago.
Exactly.
And it's not like a storytelling thing. It's literally just like, okay, a week later I was talking with her on the rooftop again.
At the exact same spot.
At the exact same spot with the exact same level of light in the
sky.
in the sunset. Like everything looks the same, except that it's a week later and the show just never goes out of its way to tell you. And the most confusing thing about this show, the thing that Kitty and I both agree, is that the problem kind of gets resolved, and you never see any of it. Like this episode,
you see like 2 shots.
This episode is main boy and Boogiepop talking about what it's like to be Boogiepop. The problem is solved. The episode ends. Yeah. And you never see anything else.
You never
in the
really
show.
get to see what Boogiepop does in the first episode, even though in the OP she seems to be doing some cool shit.
Yeah, she does some cool shit. There's some cool animation. Other than that, what where did this leave us at the end of the episode? Because at the end of it, I was like, wow, we watched a whole lot of nothing.
Talking.
And there's this comment, and I'm going to tackle it now. Mm-hmm. We saw a comment in the Crunchyroll video. Mm-hmm. Someone was claiming, I don't know if they knew about the story or they were just guessing mm-hmm. that this first episode takes place at the beginning and at the end of the series, and then the following episodes are going to patch in what happened in the middle. I don't know if this is true. The first thing I want to say right off the bat is that I absolutely fucking despise that idea.
Yeah.
I hate the idea of purposefully making an episode not fun and enjoyable to watch for the sake of mystery.
And also just confusing.
Like Kitty and
there's one thing to like pose questions to the viewer,
yeah,
but it's another thing to completely like lose the viewer with its own confusion.
Again, Kitty and I, we write books. We have done professional editing. We were literally looking at the visual language and going, "What the hell just happened?"
We have no idea.
And I know someone out there is like, that's the visuals, the themes. But if we both arrived at the end of the episode going, what did we watch? And were we excited to watch more? Because let me preface this. Kitty loves a good mystery. This is the girl who became absorbed by Lost, okay? Mm-hmm. She fucking loved Lost. When I finished the first episode, I turned to Kitty. Like, I was feeling bad because I really didn't enjoy it. But I was like, oh, Kitty's gonna want to watch this because she loves the mystery. And then she looks at me and says...
I'm so confused.
The girl who loves a mystery was like, I think I'll pass.
I think we're good.
The one other thing I want to slide under the table, just really quickly, is that the light novel was published in 1998, and the plot it's basically locked in that time period, but everything else is moved forward into the future. Everybody has smartphones. There is one thing regarding the thing that was formerly known as multiple personality disorder, now known as
dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah, and. Like
they use that.
Multiple personality disorder instead of what is the modern
terminology for
medical term. And that right there is one of the things that kind of I find exhausting, that I'm like, couldn't you just have moved everything forward in time?
Or just kept it in the past.
Like, you don't get to have both.
No, you can't have that middle ground like Banana Fish tried.
Especially because that right there is actually maybe that was for the English translation. I don't know what they call it in Japanese, but that just seems to me like an editing problem where like it's taking place in the future. We don't call it anymore. You wouldn't do that for other things. Yeah. Just move everything forward into the future. Yeah. That's more of a little nitpick.
It could have been a subtitle thing. And Japan could have been using their terminology for it, but we just didn't know.
We just didn't know. Yeah. Kitty, with that being said, do we recommend Boogiepop and Others episode based on episode 1, the storytelling methods that we witnessed in episode 1?
I could see this as a binge when it's all out, but I don't see keeping up to this week to week.
I absolutely agree. This seems to me, and I'm gonna make a big bold blanket statement, okay? Mm-hmm. This seems to me like the kind of anime for the very pretentious people who are like, the imagery, the theme, you just don't get it.
And y'all can have theme imagery, all that shit.
You can have all that.
Fine.
The thing is
we'll talk about that in other anime where it actually does it well.
But this, I came out of Boogiepop and Others episode 1 kind of feeling lost and confused. And because, the problem is this, okay? Since the problem was solved, and you know how things were solved, I have very little interest in going back to see how things unfolded.
If that is truly what's happened, unless just more shit comes up and Boogiepop has to come back.
And the thing I want to say is that, much like the prequel problem, telling me what happened before the exciting thing doesn't make me more excited for what is going on.
Yeah, for what's gonna come, because...
Yeah. Confused. Not also, sure what we watched.
We are not going to keep watching.
We're not going to keep watching. No. And now it is time, before you go and leave your dislike.
Which you already have.
Which, it's completely fine.
That's fair.
Let's see if Max and Kitty, from the Winter Anime Preview, were right about what they thought about Boogiepop.
Alright,
my turn. Boogiepop wa笑わない by Madhouse. There is an urban legend that children tell one another about a shinigami that can release people from the pain they may be suffering. This angel of death has a name. Boogiepop.
Boogiepop.
And the legends are true. Boogiepop is real.
This is a remake of an older anime, from what I've heard.
Based on a light novel.
Yep. So, Madhouse.
Boogiepop.
They're pretty good.
My favorite NSYNC song.
Yeah.
Boogiepop.
I am, because people are like kind of excited about this one. I will hold out moderate hope.
What's the genre?
It is horror, mystery, psychological.
It might be interesting.
Yeah, I'm holding up a little bit of hope, especially with Madhouse doing it. And it premieres in 16 hours from when we're recording this. So.
Well, guess what? That's not gonna happen. Kitty?
Alright, this looks like junk.
This is why maybe, you have to be mindful of people's opinions around you.
That's fair.
I wonder if the original anime was equally as confusing.
I don't know. I've heard fans of Boogiepop didn't like the original anime as much.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah, so I'm assuming this new adaptation will be more faithful to the novel, question mark?
Question mark?
I mean, like, it came out, the old anime came out in 2000, so who knows if even the light novels were done. Because actually it's a series of light novels.
That's true.
So this may be, like, actually following the light novels, so... But yeah, I had too much high hopes. You know me, I love a mystery, and I was super willing and super down to give it a shot, but... And
there was a possibility that maybe after episode 1 it gets better, but
it's true,
but the whole point of this experiment is to analyze how the first episode tackled it. Because that's the first episode you get to make without having to worry about making more episodes afterwards, working week to week, or that is the one that you have to sell to your producers or your investors.
Yeah.
And this one here, although it looked very pretty...
Looked good.
Left us confused
just really...
and lost at the end.
Yeah.
Hey there, if you enjoyed this show, we have a couple links we want to tell you about. First and foremost, we have Twitter accounts.
We sure do.
The Dango Duo official account, my account, MistreKirin, and LadyKittyLynn for idle bullshit and cute cats.
Yep, always. And chinchillas.
Also,
I need to post the chinchilla photos.
Oh yeah, you have to post the chinchillas! We have chinchillas. You might have heard them in the background while we were talking. We also have an Amazon wish list in the description down below. If there's something you want to treat us to, we will make a review on it. We have incoming reviews for gifts that were sent to us. Someone may or may not have sent us the entirety of Elfenlied.
Someone.
Yeah, which we are...
Who refuses
We are looking forward to having to put ourselves through that. Also,
it was on the Amazon wish list.
The number
I can't
one,
blame them too much.
You did this to us.
I did this to us.
The number one place to support us is also Patreon.com/Dango Duo, where you can pledge as little as 1 month to get access to our videos. $1.
And also $1.
$1.
$1 in 1 month.
$1 for 1 month, and you'll get shoutouts as well as early access to these editorials and more.
And we'll go back to the monthly videos. We're sorry.
Yeah. We're gonna do that.
It's all
but
coming back.
First, we're returning to the editorials one step at a time. Kitty, let's go.
Jesus.
Don't die, Kitty.
I'm trying. Thank you to our Patreons, Amelia,
Angela,
Annie Exohoshi,
Aerosos,
Leire,
and Luna. Patreon, sorry about the lack of shoutouts.
Sorry about the lack of things.
But we're back.
We're back.
We're back, Baba.
We're back, bitch. You know.
All right.
Winter's hard.
It's seasonal depression, a bunch of other things.
Retail.
And hey, after all that hell, go home, bundle up, and put on some terrible anime on Crunchyroll.com/winteranime2018. I don't know. 19. I don't know if that's actually the link.
I don't believe so.
Let me tell you, we have a bunch more trash for you waiting in the pipeline. Two tutorials per week. We're gonna go through the first episode of every anime. I want to make the push to review everything that we did the preview for.
We'll do our best.
Even that stupid Airplane Girl anime.
Oh no, that's on Crunchyroll.
That's on Crunchyroll.
So
Crunchyroll paid good money to get the Plane Girl anime. So
they also paid good money for 2 other horrible things we watched. So
what other horrible things?
The worst shows of this season.
Oh, the worst.
Are both on Crunchyroll.
You know what? We're gonna have to talk about those on the next one.
Well, I don't think we're talking about it on the next one.
On the next one!
Alright, see you then. Bye.